Okay, welcome to OpenApoc. We're going to try playing through the first day of the campaign. So we're going to choose Novice. And it's put us at the north of the map. Okay, so it's a bit of an eclectic base layout. We'll see what we can do with that. First thing to do is going to be build some more living quarters. You can never have enough. Also expecting some injured agents, so we may build some medical bays later. Let's see what's here. Okay. First thing to do is get some equipment. We always do well with machine guns, all of that. Autocannons, more autocannons. It's probably worth getting some high explosives as well, and fire just for the chaos. Definitely need stun grapples, it's always a good idea to get those, and medkits. We'll get a couple of motion scanners. There's very little point to getting mind benders unless you're going to be dealing with human enemies, and you've got lots of sectoid hybrids. That's those done. There seems to be a bug with the bounding box on this, because it doesn't drag quite the same way as it does in vanilla. We'll sell those extra laser guns. Get rid of them there. We definitely want some more Illyrium, so you see again there's this little bug here which I've dragged that along to the end and it doesn't fully move things across. We're going to want the most powerful engine for our Valkyrie, and we should probably stock up on silly bug again. We should probably stock up on power cells too. I'm going to sell all my ground cannon rounds and all my ground launch missiles. You'll notice that even though I've bought power cells and Illyrium in the aircraft, there's a bug at the moment where it doesn't seem to move it across when you move tabs. Nonetheless, we'll go ahead and purchase. We'll also start our research. We'll also want to hire. I generally have a rule of never allow anything under 90 to be in your science department. Good, we've got some more which are above 90, so 67 is the lowest, go to them. Oh excellent, we've got two engineers, so now we just drop the two lowest, which are 63. 73. We'll probably want to recruit some more agents. I'm actually going to go with the hybrid simply because whilst they have lower health, they have some of the better accuracy in reactions, as well as psi ability if you ever use it. So we'll get those recruited as well. Frustratingly, I'm probably going to want to move this vehicle repair bay across one at some point. So bearing that in mind, I may remove these buildings at some point, build a new repair bay here, and then put security stations around it. Aliens tend to spawn in the vehicle bay or around the access lift, so putting security stations there is usually a sensible thing to do. I'll leave that for the moment though because of money. Now, one of the really cool features of Apocalypse in the OpenApoc form is if you go to more options, we have this, which is realistic transport system. Now, what this does compared to the original game is all those items that I have ordered will have to come from the factories where they were created, but Transtella will have to send cargo craft to those factories to then pick up the goods, to then take those goods to me, and then return back to Transtella. So you can see on the map, this is all the locations that goods are coming from. And we're going to just let it start playing. Here's Transtella leaving the spaceport with all its craft, and these craft will go off to the places I've ordered from. So we should see one of these go to Megapole over here. There does appear to be some sort of performance issue, in the sense of this is stuttering every few seconds. Yes, so they've picked up the goods from Megapole. One here, one here. And they should now fly to my base. In the original game, they would have just spawned at the Megapole police station and came straight to me. With this option, they have to drop cargo off and then return to Transtella or go to the next job. It just makes the city feel more alive. It's a huge change in terms of how the city feels, and also if you order goods in a UFO invasion or when there's gang warfare, you obviously have to consider that your goods may be shot down by those hostile gangs, so it adds another element to the game that I really do love. You see they're still going to Megapole to pick stuff up. It's quite amazing how many vehicles are currently going in and out of this warehouse. Does make you wonder what the cult of Sirius here are thinking. Let's see, have we got many more? These yellow circles show factories or warehouses that are still waiting for goods to be taken back to our base, so we'll just wait until all of that happens. You get some idea of how the realistic transportation system will slow down delivery of goods as well, doing it this way. Though for the added gameplay, I prefer it being on. Okay, that appears to be everything delivered, so we can now begin equipping our agents. Now, one of the most useful things we have with OpenApoc is the ability to create equipment templates via hotkeys. So if we go to our first agent with equipment here, he's got a laser rifle. He's only got one pod of ammo though, so we're going to give him an extra one. You can also, instead of just dragging, if you press the shift and click, it will put it in the first available location. So we're happy with that agent layout. Now if we assign this layout 1 by holding Control and pressing 1, we can now click on Next agent, and you'll see he still is default. If I press 1, it'll instantly equip it the same way as Alex Jones. So this can be really useful for setting templates. We'll do a similar thing here. I'm going to give him some extra ammo using Shift, assign that as layout 2 with Control 2, click to the next agent, press 2, and it equips it automatically. Moving down to John Jones, he's got an autocannon with explosive. Now, explosive ammunition generally not the best idea unless you want to bring down a building. So if we switch that out to AP, and it'll automatically put the high explosive that was in the cannon into his inventory. So armor piercing, incendiary, explosive. We'll also give him some extra armor piercing. I'm going to move these over as there seems to be a bias to loading from this slot. That's there done, and we're going to assign that layout 3. Jennifer, we will layout 3 you. Again, we've got this strange bug with the scroll. I should be able to hold down and it do things. It's not doing that. And dragging is a little bit jumpy, but it works anyway. What are we going to do with this chap? Let's make him a stun master. Let's give him 2 for the moment. This allows him to fire twice as quickly. Assign that 4. Move down. Law pistol is not a particularly good weapon. Let's give him something to stun with, and he can keep his motion scanner. Also give him a couple of grenades. That should keep him safe. Assign that 5. What are we going to do with you? Let's give you an auto cannon, so 3. Give you a laser gun. And possibly another auto cannon. That's worked nicely. So we should be ready for our first action. This is something we'll fix in future versions. At the moment the text doesn't change colour like the original game, and you have to be very careful where you drag agents. The other thing I'm going to do is the Storm Dog's relatively useless, so I'm going to take all its modules off. We can use them on other things. Same for the APC, and leave the aircraft as is. While I'm at it, I'll also save myself some trouble by selling those vehicles. Gets us some cash, which is what we need at this time in the game. So I guess we'll sell those. Ground vehicles. Let's see what we can sell. Sell that. Sell that. We'll keep that. Get rid of that. And we've made ourselves 2,800 just in the modules. The reason for splitting the modules off before selling the vehicle is that whilst you can sell the vehicle with the modules, you never seem to get quite as much money as if you take the modules off and sell them separately, even though you do get a boost if you sell them with the modules. One thing I would love to see happen is the realistic transport then have cargo transports orders and take the stuff away from your base to a warehouse, but as yet that doesn't seem to have been implemented. It's just a visual thing anyway, more than anything. Let's see how our scientists are getting on. They've arrived, so I'll assign them now. Do a quick scout of the city to see if all is well. Who are not happy with us? Let's see. So, Cult of Sirius, obviously. We're only 6 minutes into the first day, and already we've sold a load of vehicles and bought a load of new equipment and got some new agents. So this seems to be a good point to save before we do anything. Easy stream, that'll do. While we're on the menu, we will go through a couple of the extra options that are enabled for OpenApoc. OpenApoc adds an extra button here that allows us to change these features. The general rule is if it has an... This scroll is really annoying, sorry. If it has an M next to it, it's a modification. If it has an N next to it, it's not implemented fully yet. And everything else is largely self-explanatory. So we have the EU damage model. From what I understand, the way damage has worked out in the US and the rest of the world was different. So as I played on the EU back in the day, I will keep that enabled. Explosions deal damage instantly. This is one of the more useful tweaks that has been made. In the original game, you would have an explosion, and then all the damage from that explosion was worked out after the effect had finished. In OpenApoc, we can actually do calculations on the fly. So as the explosion spreads out from the central point, it works out the damage as it hits objects. It may not sound like much, but it makes the game a lot more immersive. Gravlift sounds, again self-explanatory. Throwing requires you to actually face where you're throwing. Ammunition explodes when blown up. This is a wonderful feature. Basically any dropped ammunition, if it gets sufficiently damaged, will explode, and it can set off chain reactions and absolute chaos amongst surviving agents of a squad that is being taken down. You'll most likely see that in the next few missions. Unit pass. I don't know why that's ticked, it's not implemented. Most of these seem to be okay. Armoured roads is another fantastic feature that's been enabled. In the original game, roads were fairly useless because the minute that anything struck them in terms of weapon projectiles, they were destroyed, and anything on them was destroyed with it. Generally not a good thing, and it more or less rendered road vehicles useless. This scroll bug is annoying. You can enable invulnerable roads if you want. The Griffin tank is now an all-terrain vehicle, so I can actually drive that out into the middle of these parks and place it as a turret. Vehicles crashing on low HP. In the original game, if the vehicle's HP was reduced to nothing, it would just explode and you would lose the vehicle. In OpenApoc, the ability to have that vehicle have a chance of crashing, surviving and being picked up by a construction vehicle sent from the city automatically has been allowed, and it's one of these nice little features that makes the game feel a bit more immersive. I think I'm going to leave most of the other stuff on there for the moment. Let's go and do something. I think I'm going to go in and annoy the Cult of Sirius as my first action, or maybe 6 minutes past 12. Maybe we should wait for the aliens first, just before I get some agents injured. So let's move forwards. Ah yes, the vehicles are moving much more steadily now, so it's obviously a performance issue with regards to the number of calculations for all those orders I'd made. There we go. So if we select all of the agents, send them off to investigate, and they're at this corporate HQ. Wonderful. I see these construction vehicles heading off. They quite regularly do that, mainly because other vehicles, some other organisations will be running around the city, crashing, fighting one another and so forth. One bug that's yet to be fixed is that when you send agents to investigate, the craft will just simply go to the building. It won't automatically investigate like it does in vanilla. It's not a major problem, but you just have to remember it. So search alien activity, and we begin the first mission. We do have, in the longer term, the ability to add different mission types, so that'll be sorted as the game progresses. Let's split these up a little bit. Generally with Apocalypse you're wanting to operate in pairs. I've forgotten to equip him, haven't I? Damn. Let's keep you two out of the way. These guys doing over here? And those two, I think I'm just going to get to run away. It's not worth getting them hurt. It's always a good idea to cover the entrance. There we go. You'll have noticed then that the bloodsucker, I'm in the wrong universe here, the brain sucker leapt towards that agent and was shot out of the air, so that is a feature that was in vanilla that's already in OpenApoc. Let's move these agents. Ah! That was an incredibly small mission, okay. A wonderful 34 points there. So let's send this back to the base. And you'll see there's so many vehicles on the move now with the realistic transportation. All of the organisations really have to adhere to that rule, so there's a lot more traffic than you would normally get in Apocalypse. I'm just having a quick scan because there is a known bug where these mega flyers will end up with a construction vehicle unable to land at them, and the game will slow. Won't crash, but it will go slow. And annoyingly, you'd have to annoy the owner by shooting the vehicle down to fix it at the moment. That's wonderful. We have 4 points for this week total. Let's order some vehicles. Hover bikes, definitely need some of those. And we'll order a couple of hover cars as well. I don't want to spend too much, I want to try and keep between 30 and 50,000 in the bank. So we'll get those along. Where are they coming from? They're coming from here. Wonderful. And the next thing to do is see where the dimension gates are. So we're looking for these little blue triangles. There's currently 3. And we're going to station a few vehicles nearby. So holding control, we can select multiple vehicles. So I'm going to select 2 hover cars, 2 hover bikes, and let's put them in this megapole station. Let's put them at Transstellar because there's lots of tubes for us to come out of. And then these last 2 we'll stick at this power station. This is something which I tend to find helps a lot even in the original game, is that if you station your vehicles near dimension gates, you've got a better chance of downing UFOs, particularly the light UFOs, before they drop aliens into the city. And if you're not chasing aliens, then you can focus more on harassing the gangs and organisations. There's a Hawk Air Warrior there already. XCOM doesn't even have access to those yet. I wonder who owns that. Diablo, so it's a gang. The gangs are better equipped than we are at the moment. Ah, there's a road vehicle crashed here. I see the Hawk's gone to collect it. That's a wonderful example of the crash mechanism we spoke about earlier. And you can see the Hawk is carrying the crashed bike underneath it. Let's see where he's going. Let's follow him. He's gone back to the slums, taken the vehicle back, and then returned to base himself. Okay, what are we doing? Right, so we've got everything by dimension gates. Now the first UFOs we know are only going to be small, so I'm not too worried about hurting a few agents to get some points in the meantime. Let's go and raid this temple. Just save. selected, and we're going to raid. Choose real time. I know what I've forgotten to do. I've forgotten once again to equip these. Let's do that structure. Seen someone already. There's a cultist up there. Now the AI in, I shouldn't say AI, the behaviour for agents in OpenApoc isn't up to scratch yet. There's a lot of stuff that they do in vanilla that they don't currently do in OpenApoc. If you go to our forums, you'll see the discussions regarding the behaviours we want to implement. Definitely go and give it a check out. There's a lot of interesting stuff there that we really would like to see. Some of it you'll be familiar with if you've played vanilla. Other stuff you will only be familiar with if you've seen or played the beta from June 1997, so just before the original release. Let's get rid of this straight away. It seems that they've all spawned in one room. That looks like a VIP. It is a VIP. Not a good opening move for our agents. Let's get you out of there. I don't think you're going to survive this firefight. And looks like we've got another VIP over there as well. Wonderful. Great way to start the mission. We saw stuff moving over here. So let's get some agents round to investigate. Got that leader stunned again. And he's dead, we hope. They're okay. Let's do some more over this way. Someone's going ballistic with their autocannon. And why has he changed to that? He was equipped with AP. So is this a bug? This is a bug, I think. Do not want them changing to fire. Just gonna let the whole temple burn now, I think. Ah, there was ammo going off there. There we go. That ammunition exploding. That was the feature we discussed earlier. If you have enough ammo in one place, you can set off these huge chain reactions. Someone is under fire. Looks like another leader. It is, it's the leader with the starburst around him. And we've downed him. Yes, these are Cult of Sirius members that are disabled in vanilla. They're left over from the original espionage and cut elements of the game, where you could capture an organisation's VIPs or property and so on, and OpenApoc enables these characters by default, but they are not really much more than tough cultists at the moment, so shall look forward to seeing what modders do with that. 195, that's more like it. Let's send our agents back and see what we've got. One of the best things about raiding Cult of Sirius is cyclones. They sell for 4,500 each. We've got 11 of them, so that's a blooming good haul. That's actually taken us up to nearly 100,000, so just what you need at this point in the game. Now our base is all the way at the north of the city, so let's see if there's any other property worth buying. It's probably going to be that warehouse whilst security turrets may be an issue. That's probably going to be the best. It's also a bargain, 30,000. So as we've got all that wonderful cyclone money, drugs being one of the most lucrative incomes in Mega Primus. Let's see, we're going to have to build that security station. Security station. Security station. By building security stations like this, whilst you may lose a substantial amount of room in the base, you actually largely automate yourself against attack. Whilst we're building this, I just wanted to put alien containment near security stations as well. Storerooms in the gaps here. You generally want none of your living quarters or training areas to be next to either the vehicle repair bay or access lift. You always want them to be behind a security turret, mainly because they tend to be where you'll spawn in a base attack, and obviously you don't want to find yourself in a firefight as soon as you start without support, particularly as you may have scientists or other non-combatants. So let's put a living quarters behind the security turret. That's there. We're also going to do a medical bay. And we're down to 5,000, so we'll just leave this base to build up at the moment. It's likely I'll actually turn this into my main base at some point, as it's got far more room for advanced rooms. It's also easier to defend with those security turrets, so that's that done. Let's see how many... oh, we've only lost 3 agents to injury, so let's double check how our Medibay is doing. Yeah, it's only using 30%, so while I remember, I will actually equip the agent now, so let's give you an autocannon. They're nice and easy to use. I'm going to remove that fire ammo simply because it's a liability. Let's give you some AP instead, and we can change the template. So do Control 3. That's 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 3, 1, 3. that's got our agents all restored. What I'm also going to do while I'm here is we appear to have got a plasma gun, so this guy who had a motion tracker earlier, we're going to give that plasma gun. Yes, he was 5, so control 5, there we go. Check our score. So we're at 199 now, which considering we're only an hour and 15 minutes since the game started, isn't too bad. You'll have noticed that then, these two, overtaking is not yet implemented. Hopefully it will be in time. Vehicles tend to pass through each other at the moment, and you'll have seen on the Hawk Air Warrior earlier that it seems to pass through buildings. Let's forward a little bit and see what happens to the first UFO invasion. Save. Here we go. Where are they going to do? So the first UFO in is this one. '77, '78, 143, 144. So it looks like they're all these ones. Okay. So if we get that to attack you. I'm going to set these to be a little bit more evasive. Seems to have worked. It's worth noting that not all of the evasion and so forth behaviours have been implemented yet, similar to the unit AI. OpenApoc isn't quite yet up to scratch. Wonderful, now we've got 141. You'll see this is why we try and basically station craft around the city. It just makes our response to these incursions all the more fluid. Stuff are going off here. Let's see what these are doing. We have one down already. So if we get those to attack that one. This one's down already, so wonderful. Let's see whether this one's managed to cause any mischief yet. Excellent. And we've got all of the UFOs before they've even had a chance to drop aliens. That's the kind of thing you need to be doing in Apocalypse. Send everything back for reloading. There is a wonderful. That's one I've not seen before. So Deadlock, please try to send try to limit. That's a new one on me. No worries. I shall report that in a bit. Okay, let's send out something to recover all of these crafts. So. Make him the most evasive as he's my troop carrier. Let's go and get us some craft. There was an amusing bug in early versions of OpenApoc where all of the organisations would scramble to recover these UFOs. Whilst that obviously had to be fixed, it's possible, and I really hope a mod introduces that again, because there was this wonderful rush between Cult of Sirius, Megapole and XCOM to recover these. As they're unmanned, we can collect them all. This is a Cult of Sirius bike. As he's out, let's get sure what my Hawkeye Warrior is doing here. That seems to be a bizarre pathfinding glitch. Okay. He really doesn't want to attack. It's possibly because he's just on evasive. I will return to base anyway. What should we do with the last half hour of the day? Possibly worth checking our research. That's coming along nicely. Checking our score. We have an excellent first day score. I do love just watching the city in OpenApoc. You've got a larger view area than the original game, and the realistic transport just... you see, there's a... slow that down. There was just a craft recovered there, I don't know if you saw that. Yeah, I was saying there's just so many little things like that. There's another craft being recovered over here. There appears to be another bike. Let's follow this mission. The city's just so much more alive. I really look forward to seeing how this feature develops. He is not faring so well, John Jones. craft there. That's what I've been waiting for. We'll make this our last thing to watch. It's psych. I'm assuming that this is the craft coming to collect it. Yes it is, so let's follow this. That's a nice little short mission. Let's speed through to the end of the day then. Bang on midnight. Do we want to review the report? Yes. What a nice way to end the day. And we have lots of things to look at, so let's start with the energy source. That's hopefully going to give us a new form of power. I think what I'll do is I will research the transport module and then I will end this video. There we go. And we'll assign them the next job, which is the brainsucker launcher. Well, I think that's all we need to do for the moment. I will do another let's play of day 2 when we have some more stuff to show you. That's all for now. Thank you.